All right, today in Algebra 2, we're looking at adding and subtracting rational expressions. So we're going to start off nice and easy with when we have like denominators. In order to add rational expressions with like denominators, just like adding fractions with like denominators, the denominator stays the same, and we just add what's on top. So here I have x over x plus 4 plus 5 over x plus 4 equals on top x plus 5. I can't really combine those, so I just write it as x plus 5 over x plus 4. So there's our answer. Number 2, 2x plus 1 over x squared plus 3x. I notice that the x squared plus 3x, I can factor that. Remember, we always want factored simplest form, so if I pull an x out, then I'm left with x plus 3. Now I notice that they have the exact same denominator. So on top, I have 2x plus 1 plus 3x minus 8, so I'm going to combine my like terms. 2x plus 3x gets me 5x. 1 plus negative 8 gives me minus 7 over x times x plus 3. So there's my answer. Number 3, again, I notice that they both have the same denominator, 2x plus 3, so I simply combine like terms on the top. So 10x minus 4x leaves me with 6x. Negative 5 plus 8 leaves me with plus 3 over 2x plus 3. I could leave it like that, or I notice on the top I could pull a 3 out of everything, and so then I get 2x plus 1 over 2x plus 3. Okay. And number 4, I see again that they have the same denominator, so combine like terms on the top. So 3x and x gets me a 4x. Negative 5 and a negative 21 gets me a negative 26 over x plus 5. And again, I see I could take a 2 out of everything on the top, so then that would leave me with 2x minus 13 over x plus 5. All right, so now we're going to practice identifying the least common multiple of polynomials. Okay, so number 1, x plus 2 quantity squared, x squared plus 5x plus 6. So I need to go ahead and factor x squared plus 5x plus 6 if I'm finding the LCM. So what can I multiply together to get 6, but add to get 5? Positive 3, positive 2. Okay. So we need to know when we're finding the LCM if it appears more than once. So if it appears more than once, you take the highest degree. You take the highest degree. Okay. So here, my LCM, I have to take everything that the first one had, x plus 2 quantity squared. So I know I'm going to have an x plus 2 quantity squared. And then I come over here, the second one had an x plus 3. I need an x plus 3. And then it had an x plus 2. But my x plus 2 quantity squared has already taken care of this single x plus 2. Okay. So number 2, again, first thing I want to do is factor everything. So x cubed minus 9x, if I pull an x out, then I'm left with x squared minus 9. That's a difference of squares, so then I get x times x plus 3 and x minus 3. So there's the first one factored. So now let's go to the second one. X squared minus 2x minus 15 factors 2 sets of parentheses. What can I multiply together to get negative 15? But add to get a negative 2. So that's a negative 5 and a positive 3. This last one, I can take an x out, and I'm left with x minus 5. So x and x minus 5. So again, to find my LCM, write down everything that the first one had. X, x plus 3, x minus 3. Go to the second set, and x minus 5. I have not written down an x minus 5 yet, so I have to add that in. X plus 3, I already have that taken care of. And then the last one, an x, I already have an x, and an x minus 5 I already have. So that's my LCM. It's number 3. X cubed plus 9x squared plus 27x plus 27. Let's see. This is not going to factor by grouping. We can do p's and q's on this. So I would need to do p's and q's. So positive negative 1, 3, 9, and 27 because my factors of 27 over just positive negative 1. I'm not going to start out big. I'm not going to start out super small, somewhere in the middle. So let's try a negative 3. So 1, 9, 27, 27. My 1 comes straight down, -3, so I'm at 6, -18, 9, -27 works. So I know x plus 3, so I know it factored to x plus 3. And then this is an x squared plus 6x plus 9. Well, that's also going to factor to x plus 3. So this was x plus 3 quantity cubed. Okay. And then the next one, I can factor x squared minus 4x minus 21. What can I multiply together to get -21? But add to get a -4. So that's a -7 and a +3. So my LCM, everything the first one had, I need the entire x plus 3 quantity cubed. Move to the second one, I need an x minus 7. I don't have to write down this x plus 3 because I already have 3 of them cubed written down. All right, number 4, an x squared minus 10y squared. Well, I can pull a 10 out of that, and then I've got x squared minus y squared, difference of squares. So now I've got a 10, x plus y, x minus y. 15x squared minus 30xy plus 15y squared. I can pull a 15 out of that, and then I've got x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. So if I'm going to factor that, so I have a 15. And then I can get, let's see, this is going to factor to x minus y quantity squared. And then this last one is going to factor x and x. What can I multiply together to get 2y squared? But add to get a 3xy. Well, that's just going to be a positive 2y and a positive y. All right, so now our LCM, okay? And I can break down, so my 10, that's a 2 and a 5, right? My 15, that's a 5 and a 3. Okay. So everything the first one has, 2, 5, x plus y, x minus y. I come over here at 15. I already have the 5 taken care of. I need that 3. X minus y, quantity squared. I already have 1 x minus y, so but it's a quantity squared, so now I need to make this a quantity squared. And then the last one, x plus 2y and x plus y. So if I multiply all of my numbers together, 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 30. X plus y, x minus y, quantity squared, x plus 2y, and x plus y. So that is our, oh, sorry, I wrote down this x plus y again. I don't need that one. At the end, we already had the x plus y at the front. So now that is our LCM. Okay. All right, next page. So now we're going to look at adding and subtracting rational expressions with unlike denominators. So our steps, we want to factor each denominator. We're going to use the LCM as the LCD, which will be the least common denominator. Add or subtract the numerators, combine like terms, factor, simplify, and state the domain. Okay, so perform the operation, state the domain. Very first thing we're always going to do is factor the denominators. So x squared minus 1, difference of squares, right? So that's going to factor x plus 1, x minus 1. X squared minus 3x plus 2. I multiply together to get 2, but add to get a -3. So that's -2, -1. So here my LCM, which is also my LCD. Everything the first one had, x plus 1, x minus 1. I go to the second one, write down what I don't have yet, x minus 2. Okay. So now I want to put each of these over that. So x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2, plus x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. So this first one already had an x plus 3 on top. Look at the denominator. What was the original denominator missing out of my new common denominator? The x minus 2. So that's what I multiplied the top by. The second one already had a 2 on top. I had an x minus 2 and an x minus 1. It was missing the x plus 1. want to go ahead and FOIL on the top. So x plus 3 times x minus 2. When I multiply that out, I get x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 6. And then I'm going to distribute my 2 on this side, plus 2x plus 2. So I just distributed and FOILed. I'm not going to write down the whole denominator again until I'm done. Okay? So now I'm going to combine like terms here. So x squared, let's see, plus 3x minus 4. That's what I'm left with. I can now factor that. So that factors my denominator, x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. What can I multiply together to get negative 4, but add to get a positive 3? That's going to be a positive 4 and a negative 1. But now I see that I can get rid of my x minus 1s. And so I'm left with x plus 4 over x plus 1, x minus 2. My domain, remember we always go back to the original denominator. In this case, it's going to be our original common denominator. So x cannot equal negative 1, positive 1, or 2. All right, so let's look at number 2 now. Again, factor the denominator. So x plus 2, x minus 2 for the first one, difference of squares. The second one, what can I multiply together to get positive 6, but add to get negative 5. That's going to be a negative 3 and a negative 2. So my LCM, everything the first one has, x plus 2, x minus 2. The second one, I need an x minus 3. I don't have to write down the x minus 2 because I already have that. Okay. So now I'm going to put each of these over that. X plus 2, x minus 2, x minus 3, plus x plus 2, x minus 2, x minus 3. Top one, x plus 6 to begin with. So now what was the original denominator missing? Missing the x minus 3. So I multiply the top of that by x minus 3. This one added 2 to begin with. What was it missing? An x plus 2. So now I want to go ahead and FOIL over here. So that gets me x squared minus 3x to 6x minus 18. Distribute my 2 plus 2x plus 4. I'm going to leave my denominator alone until I'm ready for it. I want to go ahead and combine all of this stuff. So now I get x squared. So I have 6, 7, 8x minus 3, so plus 5x. Negative 18 plus 4, so minus 14. Again, I'm going to try to factor that now. So this factors. Now I can get my denominator because I'm going to factor this stuff. So let's see, x and x, what can I multiply together to get negative 14, but add to get a positive 7. So that's going to be a positive, or sorry, to get a positive 5. So positive 7 and negative 2. So now I'm going to look at anything that I can cancel out, top and bottom, both of x minus 2. So my final answer is x plus 7 over x plus 2, x minus 3. That's what I get when I add those together. My domain, remember I go to this original, my LCM, so x cannot equal negative 2, positive 2, or positive 3. Okay. All right, that's probably as far as we are going to get today in class. I will keep going, do a few more, but I doubt that we get any further than this in class. Okay. I'll do one more though for us. So 3x plus 4, I can't factor that anymore. 6x squared plus 5x minus 4, I can factor this. So, and this is where we could have done like factor by tic-tac-toe or grouping or just looking at. So my factors of 6x I know are 3 and 2, so I'm going to have a 3x and a 2x. My factors of 4 or 4 and 1, or 2 and 2. But I'm trying to get a 5 out of it. So if I put a 4 here and a -1 here. So if I multiply together, 6x squared minus 3x plus 8x, so that gives me a plus 5x minus 4. So my LCM, and usually it's a good hint, look at what you already have and that can help you factor. So I have a 3x plus 4 and a 2x minus 1. So that's my LCM. So 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1, plus 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1. So this one had a 2x on top. It was missing the 2x minus 1. This one had a 4x squared minus 11x minus 12. It wasn't missing anything. So now I want to distribute. So then I get 4x squared minus 2x plus 4x squared minus 11x minus 12. Combine like terms. So I get 8x squared minus 13x minus 12 all over 3x plus 4 over 2x minus 1. Top of that is not going to factor, so that's what we're left with. My domain, x cannot equal, so if I take 3x plus 4, right, set it equal to 0, right, I'm going to get -4/3. If I take 2x minus 1, it cannot equal 0, I'm going to get positive 1/2. So my domain, x cannot equal -4/3 or a positive 1/2. All right, I'm going to stop there for the day. Your homework, I want you to work on Envision 4.4 worksheet 13, 14, and 17 through 24. Don't worry if you cannot get all of those 17 through 24 because we're going to finish up the notes of adding these tomorrow and then also look at the word problems hopefully tomorrow. Okay.